950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, the Matt McNeil Show. Greg Bakun has got the Ghost Box Radio Show at 10 p.m. right here on AM 950. And every Halloween, for some reason, he decides, I want to go find ghosts. You know, not something I would do, but that's kind of his vibe. He has got his show coming up here tomorrow night, starting at 7 p.m. till 11 p.m. It's Ghost Box Radio Halloween special on Thursday night on your Halloween. And Greg Bakun is kind enough to join us to talk about what he expects to find. Hey, Greg.
Matt, how are you doing? Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure, man. By the way, fantastic show. And if you're not listening to Ghost Box Radio, I would say more Sasquatches, but you know, you're your own cat, man. You can do whatever you want. Greg Bakun, of course, Ghost Box Radio, 10 p.m. weeknights here on AM 950, and you can podcast it on all your favorite podcast spots. You should be doing that. It's good stuff. So Brett was telling me last year, you did get some spooky stuff last year, like flickering lights and stuff.
We sure did. We got a lot of stuff. We were over at the Grand Garage last year, and then there was a point during the evening that someone who I work with quite a bit on the show, her name's Shar, she said, can you send something over to Adam at the station and let some of his equipment go off over where you are right now, actually, and it did.
This station is a fine-tuned machine. I don't know if sure, it's put together on bubblegum and prayers at this point. Are we sure we want the spirit world to try to take this station down? I mean, we have a hard enough time keeping this up and going as it is, right?
I think we need all the help we can get. I mean, I think that if they have a way of putting some wires together and stuff, I don't think we're in a position to turn them away, quite frankly.
We should get them, if they could deliver a steak sandwich or a pizza. I mean, that's the kind of spirit I like. You know, it's like, right. How about some delicious food we could get out there? I was at the Wabasha Street Caves, by the way. Nice. I was over there on Saturday. We had the kids, and they'd never been, so I went back in there. And of course, a nice little touch of a Minneapolis or St. Paul gangster lore. And of course, they said it's haunted. But as they say it's haunted, then they describe the fact that, and by the way, we filmed a Kevin Garnett sneaker ad here. I'm like, okay, all right, you just took away any of the haunting stuff, just went away. Garnett was in this place, and apparently they still have the basketball hoop they used in the ad, where apparently, I guess it was Garnett was like Batman in his Bat Cave, and someone called out with a basketball emergency, and so he sped off to go help out. That was the thing. I think that sometimes you can, if you're trying to put the scare in people, you want to make sure you hone your tour a little bit, because that kind of took away a little bit of the creepiness.
I don't know. I think that it was kind of more. It has to be more bittersweet of ghosts of Timberwolves past going on there, of like the stuff that we haven't seen in quite some time. So.
The draft picks that have failed us.
They all converge over at Wabasha Street Caves, and guess you didn't know that. Huh?
You had a 3 pick, and that's who you took? There is one cool thing about that. Apparently, so back in the day, they must have had some flooding in St. Paul down there, and they just took all the houses and everything that were damaged and just plowed them into some of the caves. And she showed a flashlight down one of them and just stacked to the ceiling with tires and wood. And I was like, at some point, someone should go through there and try to see what's actually in there. But that's kind of creepy on itself.
It's quite the place, and it is very, very haunted. And I mean, when you said that you got in there, my little claw-like hands were like moving in anticipation, like how can we get in there? I mean, that's all I think about these places. These places aren't places for me to visit; they're places for me to investigate now. And so when someone says I was here, I'm like, and can I get in too, please? It's. I've lost all form of humanity, quite frankly.
Well, I mean, we need to, maybe next year's, we should talk to the Wabasha Street Cave people.
Nice,
That'd be cool. I mean, they did talk about a few murders. Mobster's going to mobster. That sort of thing. That's maybe for a future thing. Where are you headed this year for your great spookathon?
So, 3 years clearly, or 3, it sometimes feels like it, right, man? I mean, you do the show every day. But 3 hours didn't seem like enough last year, I guess. So we are going 4 hours, and we are, and I'm sure we're very popular with the people who listen to Primetime AM 950 right at the end of a political, campaign year, as we're going to take all your shows off the air and we're going to put on 4 hours of
more power to you, dear Lord. Even I'm tired of it at this point, man. So no, 4 hours of Ghost on Halloween sounds absolutely spectacular.
Right? I mean, I hope so. And we're going to be over at the 300 Clifton Mansion in downtown Minneapolis over by Loring Park. This place, Matt, is so beautiful. It is so, I mean, I wonder, I step in there and I assume someone's going to come out of like a cupboard or something and ask me to leave because, I dress like this. And this place is phenomenal. They Norman and John, who also run the Minneapolis Trolley Tours, they took the time and they rebuilt this mansion and brought it back to basically what it looked like in 1906 during its heyday of being this mansion that had servants and all sorts of very ornate sort of procedures and stuff, just as you would see like in Downton Abbey or Upstairs, Downstairs. And this place has at least one noted death that is, it's not questionable, but it's more of like very unfortunate. There's been other deaths in there as well. And so we're going to go there. We're doing this 4-hour tour of programming, but then we also have people I work with. They're in the mansion on the top 2 floors, and we're inviting people to get tickets and go in this mansion and do the investigation with them. And during our 4-hour broadcast, we're going to cut to these investigations and see what people are feeling, experiencing, if they've picked up anything. It's going to be amazing.
So, okay, let's go back to the dead body.
Let's do
that. And I don't want to. Well, first of all, when was the house built? Do you know what year it was built?
See, I was looking that up because everything points to 1906, but I actually think it's older than that. I think 1906 was when Eugene Carpenter, he had the house. And Eugene is actually very important, Matt, because he is one of the people who was able to set up the Minneapolis Institute of Art.
Okay.
So and with that, it helped to establish the house on the National Register as well.
And I agree with you. It might not have been that house there, but something was there because by Loring Park, that was all really about 1880s, 1890s. That was all being developed out at that point. Now, it could have been an empty lot that just no one developed on, but I bet you're right. I bet you it was maybe a little bit older.
I think so. And if you do the Minneapolis Trolley Tour, that starts at the mansion. They will take you around literally like a 3-block, 4 or 5-block area and start the tour with all these mansions that are nearby, like the Pillsbury Mansion and other mansions that they have haunted activity that they've talked about, and they walk through all that. So it's this really wonderful, they're very, very well aware of the area, and they're also very well aware of the history of that area. And this tour actually goes as far up as St. Anthony, Maine.
Okay.
So it's, if you like spooks, if you like history, this is quite the twosome between the mansion and the tour.
Does the Pillsbury ghost kind of advise, try my cake flour? I mean, is that it?
What they don't talk about is actually the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yes,
and so you can hear haunted,
But if you come across the ghost, it's ghost busting right into the old belly there. I think you're going to be safe there. And you'll get some pizza rolls or something like that. All right, so the house comes from that age. There's a lot of other mansions over there. Let's get to the dead body. Okay, so did the person fall down the stairs? How does the person die here in the mansion?
So there's 2 I know for sure. One did fall down the stairs.
2? I got none in my house, thank God. I mean, how do you get 2 going down in one place? All right, never mind. Okay.
Is your house built in 1906? I mean, if it is, maybe
I don't think a lot of people. I mean, is that a prerequisite? I don't want to buy a house that's got. All right, let me tell you about the death count here. I mean, no, I don't need to.
No.
All right, so with the 2 dead bodies, let's hear the details, some details here, because I know you're going to share more tomorrow night.
Well, I mean, one I know, like the matriarch of the house, and she was actually one that refused electricity. She wasn't really a big fan of it. So, like in their dining room, she would make it so that even into the late 1940s, early 1950s, she demanded that in the dining room there's nothing electrical in there, no electric lights or anything. Everything was candle lit. So she was served dinner this way, but she ended up if I'm not mistaken, falling down the stairs at one point and breaking her neck. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, okay. If you want to reach with her,
it's a nice looking staircase, though.
Okay. Well, don't look at it too closely as you're going down. You don't want to lose your step. So, okay. So I got an idea here. If she doesn't like electricity, I've got like a 1990 boombox. You could take that and go into the dining room, just kind of put some music. Look at me, I'm using electricity. You could. Do you think that would get a response?
We have found that she doesn't like to be mocked. Let's put it that way. So
this is why you can't take me to these things, because I'd be like, oh no, my toothbrush. It's just
nope. You would not be very, very popular, and you got to be careful, because sometimes if you make them angry enough, they will take it out on you.
Well,
They will, and I don't think she will. I'm not trying to see. Now you're trapping me, making people think they're going to get hurt tomorrow.
No, you're not. No, but you don't want to talk. I mean, I am joking. I am making jokes. This is what I do for a living. This is why Greg has told me no, I can't go. But because he wants to do it. Well, yeah, true. I mean, it's like, I dress worse than you, man. Dude, just trust me. But you want to go and find the serious, and you don't need Johnny Jokester showing up here to kind of ruin your vibe.
It's I think there has to be a healthy balance of that. If you come in and just like, hey, and you're just like, basically doing what you said you're going to do, then there does become about that. But you can't take it so seriously as well, where it just like you can't have any fun with it, because we have found, speaking with spirits, that they want to have fun as well. They don't want to be asked, hey, when did you die? Or how does it feel to be dead? Those are dumb questions, quite frankly. I much rather ask, do you like T-bone steaks? Stuff like that. And
you catch Ray Gun at the Olympics,
Right. Oh, God. I mean, I'm sure that helped make their decision to cross over at that point. But the thing is also we'll just, to your point, sometimes if we're not getting any activity, we'll just play some music, and suddenly stuff will start going off after a while, because it's starting to draw spirits in. They don't want to be looked like as museum pieces. They want to be able to interact if they're able to.
Now put in some good blues, man. I mean, seriously, this is the classic
Absolutely.
blues. Everyone loves the classic blues, man. Well, maybe not, Susie Candle, but I mean, everyone else probably. You can't take me, man. I'd be getting you guys into so much trouble if he just like.
I'm surprised you knew her name was Susie. That's creepy.
Well, I didn't. I'm just kidding. It's not, okay. The worst part about me is if I got them to actually like punch you, I'd keep doing it to see how long I could get them to do it. So whatever you do, don't punch Greg again.
But here's some more of my brand of music to play. Yeah, I see how that works.
All right, so you will kind of sometimes play some music in this. What other things are you going to do? How are you going to try to communicate with these spirits?
We have a lot of different we have a lot of different devices and stuff, but then most of the people who are doing the investigation, that's part of the team that I brought in, they're all psychic mediums. Mm-hmm. So they're going to be able to also tell what's happening at the same time. You have this equipment, and what we would really like to see happen is what they say is validated by the equipment, where it's like some kind of word is said and it shows up on the screen on a piece of equipment, or we hear it in some other way, or when we say something, a light goes off to validate it. That's the kind of thing that we would love to see happen.
Okay.
Which kind of happened last year when we asked the equipment to go off at the station.
Let's not take the station down. I think the station, I'm a little more concerned. I mean, I'm not saying there's ghosts here, but man, it's like any radio station that exists on this planet. It's been put together for 60 years on bubblegums and prayers. No one knows how the thing operates. We just hope it stays on the air. So that's every radio station in the country. Have the mediums ever? Okay, so you know of 2 people who have died there. How often is it you will go into a house and all of a sudden, all right, we got someone new here. This is not anyone we know about. How often does that happen?
Actually, quite a bit. And one of the reasons why that happens, if you're really open to spirit communication, we call that being like a beacon, where to the spirit, you're just kind of like shiny and bright, and that like moths to the flame, they come to you, because often they don't have the opportunity to speak to anybody. So that's, in that case, then, you start getting spirits to come in who might have something to say. They might just want your attention or something. So you get them, and they have nothing to do with the place that you're in, and that's okay. But it is sometimes like trying to decipher and maybe even pull away a couple layers of like who is really here and what is it that they're trying to tell us, that sort of thing.
What do they think about the lack of a face mask penalty on the Rams' last Vikings game? I mean, ask that. Just see what they think about it. I mean, I'm sure they saw it because we all saw it. The refs didn't see it, but I'm sure the ghosts saw it as well, for goodness sakes.
Well, and those are the type of questions we would ask, in a sense, because it's like, it's better than asking, like we said, better than asking, like, what color was your coffin? It's stuff like that. It's like, let's have it be fun. And they might just respond like, I don't know, or no response or whatever, but it's better to have fun with it than not.
Well, I mean, exactly, because, I mean, if you said, how many times did you bunk your head rolling down the stairs, Grandma? You imagine that's okay, whoa. It's like, why don't you just, did you ever listen to the Beach Boys? I mean, Pet Sounds was a good album, man.
Totally. And it is like, what was your favorite type of music at the time? What is it? And then you maybe find that type of music. Maybe you go into it knowing like in, 1930, this was a popular song, and you play it, and then you see if you get responses from it. It's what we call a trigger object.
You cannot take me in there. I'm sorry. I would not be able to control myself. I was like, so what, I'm sorry. Every joke I'm coming up with, I could not say. So I'm going to leave it to you. You're the professional. I'm just the trained chimp here. So I'll stay out of it.
No, it's totally. I mean, it's but it is fun. I mean, it is fun. And in tomorrow night, if you go out to the mansion, there's more than just the investigation going on too. It's going to be like a big party out there. Okay. It's going to be other things to do other than the investigation. You got trolley rides. You got another psychic medium. You got me. I mean. Still don't let that stop anyone.
All right.
But, and then you have, I think there's going to be some music and maybe some food out there. So it's going to be a great time.
You should go out there just to talk to Greg. Seriously, though. Greg is absolutely a hoot on this stuff, and he knows his stuff. So if you're not like me, a jackass, and you want to find out more about ghosts and what's going on in this mansion, you need to go out there and talk to Greg because he'll actually set you straight. So if they want to come out to the event tomorrow night, how do they do that?
So you can go to the mansion, but I think you're better set by going to MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com/Halloween. And there you're going to find that you can get tickets. The tickets start at $35. And that's to be able to be on the massive grounds and get some of the free stuff like my broadcast. And we're giving away stuff tomorrow as well during the broadcast. But then you can also sign up for trolley tours, psychic readings, our paranormal investigation. I'm not going to be in the investigation. I'm going to be in the carriage house, kind of going from place to place. And we're doing our internet panel show called Myth or Mystery tomorrow night as well, which is a lot of fun. So there's just a lot of stuff that's happening tomorrow that's just beyond the investigation.
And once again, that's Minneapolis Trolley Tours. Go there. There's going to be the link to that. I'll find that, and I'll get that posted up on the socials a little bit later on. And then, of course, just listen tomorrow night, because if you don't want to go on out there because you got the kiddos coming through with the trick-or-treating, you want to stay at home, you can listen to AM 950 throughout the evening as you'll be out there from, once again, 7 to 11?
7 to 11, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait.
Ask them what their favorite candy bar is. They've got
right?
Did you really like Spice Drops? I mean, those weren't good. I mean,
right?
we got Reese's now. They're a lot better.
Are you jealous of what we are able to eat for Halloween now?
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Oh.
Totally.
Why is Mr. Good Bar the most underrated candy bar? Ask them that. I mean, stuff like that. It is actually one that I enjoy quite a bit on Halloween. Greg Bakun, once again, live tomorrow night here on Halloween, 7 to 11. And, he's right. Take a break from the freaking politics and go and just listen to this and enjoy this on your Halloween night. Greg, all my best. Come back alive, my friend. And
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the time. Greg Bakun, we'll take a break, wrap the show when we come back. It's the Matt McNeil Show on your Wednesday.